So now we're going to multiply these two matrices. The first one has 1, 2, 3 rows. So you always put rows first. And 1, 2, 3 columns. The second one has 1, 2, 3 rows and 1, 2 columns. And when you multiply two matrices, these two numbers have to match. Otherwise, it's impossible to multiply them. And when you're done, then that information is no longer needed, and you're left with a 3 by 2 matrix. So this is rows and columns. So our matrix will have 3 rows of 2. So in other words, we need these 6 little dots. What numbers are those 6 little dots? That's what our answer is going to look like at the end. Now to actually do the work. So multiplying matrices is pretty easy. It's just multiply and add, multiply and add, multiply and add. So you start with the first row, and then you multiply it with the first column. And you multiply the first number with the first number. So I like to keep track either on a calculator or a piece of paper. That's 10. Multiply the second one with the second one. That's going to be 55. And then multiply 6 with 6 is 36. So I'm just going to add that on a calculator. I'm just adding that in my head real quick, and that equals 101. So the first entry is 101. All right. Then use this row times this column, and then just repeat the process. So I can then clear up my little scratch paper right here, and there's a 2 times a 4 is an 8. A 5 times a negative 5 is negative 25, and 6 times 2 is 12. I think I can even do that without a calculator, because an 8 and 12 is 20. 20 minus 5 is negative 5. All right, we're now done with the first row. So now we're done with the first row. Now we use the second row and then repeat. Multiply it with the first column to get this answer. So let me erase my scratch work here. And I wonder why it's called scratch work. Okay, anyway, 5 times 0. Then 2 times 11, so negative 22. And 4 times 6 is 24. And that is going to equal 2. Next, use the same row, but now multiply with this column. So there will be the 0 times 4. That's 0. There's going to be the negative 2 times negative 5. That's positive 10. And then 4 times 2 is 8. So this will be 18. Now we're done with the middle row. Clean it all up. Start all nice and fresh. And now use the last row. So multiply the last row with this column. So 6 times 5 is 30. 3 times 11 is 33. And 1 times 6 is 6. So this will be 39, 49, 59, 69. And then finally, for the very last entry, use the last column. So then we have a 6 times 4 is 24. A 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. And 1 times 2 is 2. How much is that? Okay, I'm going to ask my calculator. 24 minus 15 plus 2. That is an 11. So that's the multiplication of the two matrices.